She earned a place in musical theater fans' hearts as Audrey in Little Shop of Horrors, both off-Broadway and on the big screen. More recently, she's been seen on TV in shows like Heroes, Pushing Daisies, and as a baby peddling, like a baby smuggler on The Young and the Restless.
Baby peddler.
Baby peddler. I love her, and I know you do too, Miss Ellen Greene.
Hello.
Hi, Ellen. How are you?
I just got in off the plane. Lucky I love mascara, and I miss Maybelline, so I pulled it together in 2 minutes and ran over here off the plane.
Well, you look gorgeous.
For you. Oh, thank you.
So what are you doing in New York?
I'm going to see Zach in Angels in America.
Zach Quinto, your on-screen son from Heroes.
He played my son.
Your serial killer son.
Right. And I'm also, my brother's retiring, and so I'm going out to Long Island, and I'm going to see, well, going to his party.
You're based in L.A.
Yes.
But do you,
yes. I'm exiled.
Do you still consider New York sort of a home? I mean, you're a Brooklyn girl.
Of course. I love New York. The problem is New York had an awful lot of ghosts because I lost a lot of people. And so I went out to LA to sort of find calm on the way to going to London, although of course it's not on its way. But I went out there in '98 and I was doing Cameron McIntosh's Hey Mr. Producer in London.
Right.
And
you did
I
Audrey in that.
Yes, I did Audrey again in drag. And then I did it in the film.
Do you call that drag? Is that
well,
Audrey
yeah,
drag?
I just saw a gay rally that they're using in a documentary, and I looked more draggy than the drag queens. I was wearing my hair up in a Gibson. Yes, well, you know, I wore gowns like other people wore jeans. So, you know.
I don't watch soap operas, but I did.
Neither do I.
But I did because I had to see you. And you're this, wait, what's your character's name? I love Primrose DeVille.
DeVille.
I mean,
and I'm kind of, well, it's
the
very...
part I saw, you took a baby from a poor white trash family and then you were trying to sell it to a
very
tall,
rich
man.
person.
A rich person.
Yes, you see, and she's
operating out of a mini golf
a very strange
office or something.
Yes, it's closed for the winter, I suppose. Well, now that it's out, I can say, because I couldn't say before, they were going to kill me if I spoke about it. But it's kind of Bondian, and the way she believes, you know, she believes she's really helping these people. There's all sorts of people who, you know, can't take care of a child right now, and there are people who want children. So I'm taking the risk, so I will do it, and I'm doing a good deed, but for a lot of money. I only gave them $5,000, I think, and I asked for $2 million.
Yeah, you made a big profit.
I did. Well, you know, it's hard times.
Is it fun playing like an over-the-top? I mean, soap opera. It's high camp, and what you're doing is definitely...
I'm not playing it campy at all because you know I don't like camp.
But it is. I'm sorry. For me, it is.
Well, yeah, but I'm not playing it. I mean,
Right.
Well, it's hard for me because I love working on scenes, and I love working with directors, and I love finding other people in me and going different ways and doing a scene 10 different times. But they all do most of the things in one take. Only one thing I was allowed to do 2 takes. And so that's hard. They don't really direct a scene. They tell you where you go, and then let's shoot it.
Right.
So that part is tough.
And Pushing Daisies, you also got to play a great character, and you got to work with Swoozie.
And Kristin Chenoweth,
and
Anna, and Lee, and Shai. We basically have all kind of stayed together. I suppose I haven't seen Shai much, but you know, the last time I saw you, I was here for the opening, Kristin's opening.
Right.
Of Promises, Promises.
Are you sad that Pushing Daisies ended?
Of course. Of course. I mean, when you create a character you loved, and Vivian I loved, she talked like, Charlotte was a nice girl. I had no idea where that accent came from. I didn't know where she was from. I used to say to Brian, what does she talk like? I have no idea. It just came out of me, and that's what we used, like Audrey's voice.
I have to ask you about Kristin Chenoweth because, well, she sat in that chair a few weeks ago.
My little one.
Is that what you call her, my little one?
Yeah, she calls me Mama. I am. You know, I am.
You didn't know her before you got Pushing Daisies, right?
No. We met each other on the set, and I looked into Kristin Chenoweth's eyes before she even told me. Then I went, she loves me. Kristin is deep. She cares very deeply. This past year was a hard year for me. My mom was declining health, and we had been estranged. And I helped her through to get peaceful and to get sweet. And when my mom passed, immediately a basket bigger than Kristin Chenoweth arrived at my home full of every single flower you could see, because she knew I liked flowers. And also just recently, we got an email, all of us, from a director we all love from Pushing Daisies, that he's stuck in London. Immediately, of course, I wrote and said, "Oh, don't worry, you are loved. Hold on tight, we'll get money to you." But my little one wrote me, "Wait, stop, I think this is a scam. This happened to my uncle on the golf course." Kristin Chenoweth has your back.
A lot of people love you because of Audrey and Little Shop of Horrors. I listened to that off-Broadway album on repeat when that came out. I mean, that's a huge part of my childhood, and you know that about
Well,
people.
she was a delicious character. She was ripe enough to fall off a tree, like a peach, and you just wanted to hug her. In fact, most people, when they used to meet me, and still, I mean, people call me Ellen, and they usually hug me. She was very accessible, and she was all heart. And I used my soft side in that character. I mean, it's also Howard and Alan. I mean, it was such a huge chunk of my life, 5 years. And so I love, when people love that role, well, I love Howard. And they're doing a documentary on him.
Oh, good.
And I want him to be remembered because he was extraordinary.
Let's give some wisdom to the people out there. What do you think is the key to playing Audrey?
Wisdom. I don't know if this is wisdom. The key, but this I know. Audrey, first she has to be innocent.
Yeah.
And she has to be real. You walk into this land of little shop with quotes, but it's a land. And in that land, she didn't have to be blonde. She didn't have to speak the way I did. There was so much that Howard let me add.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I said, nightclub's not funny. He said, what's funny? Night spot. The voice, I was online and unemployment. I said, I don't want to do Skid Row, I don't want to do a camp musical. And then all of a sudden I'm listening to Greene and I memorized in a second. And when I went to audition, when I went to read the lines, that's the voice that came out. But then I said, could I sing Greene? And Alan got behind the piano. And the three of us, I sang Greene, 3 of us cried. And it was like we all went to school. They're my brothers. I want to start singing again. I do, and I want to come back to New York again. I want to do it with a job, though.
So I want to make sure we talk about your new album, which we heard a clip of earlier in the show. Now, this is actually something you recorded many years ago after your father died.
I was 19 when my dad died, and he was coming to my first performance in a club. It was a hotel, and I came out right after the show. I just sang all My Heart Belongs to Daddy for him, and he didn't come, and I knew he was dead. I told my brother to please stop by, and he didn't until the next morning. And that night I dreamt that he passed away.
Wow, and right after that you got this huge Broadway role in Rachel Lily Rosenblum.
And don't you ever forget it.
Don't you ever forget it.
And she says, my name is Stella. My name is Rachel Lily Rosenblum, Stella's best friend, assistant, and confidant. And if there's anything I could do to make you feel more comfortable, feel free to ask me anything at all. Dead? Hollywood dead? My whole life I've dreamed of going to Hollywood. You mean when I finally get there, it's dead? Take away my myths, you take away my mind. So that was Rachel, and that was
It's just legendary.
Anita
flop.
Morris.
I mean,
Oh,
it never
huge flop.
opened.
It's in Joe Allen's.
And yeah, of course it is. And you were
Because
so
huge.
young.
Everyone knew it was closing, but me. I was told in the middle of the show by Stigwood. Oh,
During the show, you were told that it was
yeah,
closing?
during the show.
that's
Everybody in the
nice.
audience knew. It was a star-studded audience. I didn't know.
So was it awful when it closed? I mean, were you just like, what now? Am I
Yeah, they
done?
served Gallo wine in the lobby. It was horrible, and somebody jumped me. I remember, it was just horrible.
And you took all that disappointment and poured all your energy into this album. And you made it with this great producer who did Bette Midler's first album, which I'm obsessed with, and it has a similar sound to it, actually.
It does?
It does. I mean, it definitely fits
Well,
on the
it's
same
Joe
shelf.
Dorn. It's Joe Dorn, one of a kind albums. But
Right.
Killing Me Softly, Roberta Flack, that
Okay,
was
yeah.
the famous one. But Joe and Arthur Jenkins Jr., he did Dear Miss Streisand, that was in the show.
Right, so the song from Rachel Lily Rosenblum is on this album.
The Dear Miss Streisand is, not Me and My Perch, which is very funny. Me and my perch, no one else but my perch. He's the only one I really care for. I've had my fill of bass, piranha played too rough. Oh, for me, it's been now
Do you still
that.
perform this music? Do you remember? You remember
Well, I know this song.
every song?
I'm not working my way up from shellfish. I was in clams for a while. Then after the crabs, I soon found out that scales were more my style. I love those trout and great big salmon. A tuna turns me on. No handsome boy, cock-eyed boys for me. Just a wide-eyed perch fresh out of the sea. He'll wiggle and he'll flap and he'll put up a fight. But somehow I'll keep him happy all night. I shouldn't take up my time singing this.
I have no response to that. Except that I've always wanted to see that show, and I guess I just saw a piece of it.
It's a silly show. Actually, I think I have a copy of it or something.
You want to release this album now.
And I
it
think
never was released before.
No.
So it's you as a 22-year-old, or
22, 23, Joel Dorn left Atlantic with 3 albums in total, mine being one of them. And I think the hurt from Rachel and this and my father, and my career was growing so fast. I did the play and then the movie Next Stop Greenwich Village and then Three Penny Opera after that. So I was rising so quick.
Yeah.
So I think I buried the pain of this album, and every once in a while Joel and I would say, oh, we'll release it, and then something happened. And we talked about it in the 90s, and he walked out with my only copy of it and a lot of the original stuff. But recently, I did Adelaide in the...
Yeah, you did Guys and Dolls last year.
Yes, last year in the Hollywood Bowl. Richard Alexander directed
Right.
me. And he knew me from that period. And he heard the album and said, Ellen, I just meant to listen to it. I sat down and I started crying. I do make people cry a lot. That's why I have to be funny. And he sent it to me, and I listened to it about 100 times. And then I was going to contact Joel, and I found out he had passed away 3 years before.
Wow.
I found out Arthur passed away the year before. Bob Lifton, who was the engineer, passed away.
Well, it's a beautiful album. I heard it. I'm thrilled that you shared it with me,
Yes.
and I'm thrilled that you're releasing it. So how are people going to find out about it? I guess we'll find out from Broadway.com. And
Yes.
So you hope to release it sometime this year?
Yes, soon, hopefully in the next 2 or 3 months.
So what do I have to do to get you back on Broadway? I think of you all the time.
Offer away. Think of something.
So you are open to coming back to Broadway?
Yes, yes,
It just has to be the right thing.
yes. I want something to grow on. I want something meaty so I can grow. I don't, I remember I auditioned for Tennessee Williams one year when I was very young, and he groaned through the whole audition. Not that it's Tennessee Williams. I mean, it could be the Mad Woman of Shiloh. I don't care. I want something that will enrich me and will teach me.
Well, I can't wait for that
Teach
moment to
me.
happen. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me
I
back
hope
in New
you'll
York.
come back again.
This is a great New York moment.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.